Guys, I'm gonna take this for a little test ride. But I got 2 fingers. These are like a 2-finger clutch and brake setup. Not bad. I see my guys, do a lot of different things on their bike. It's all personal preference. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You see where I'm at. You see where I'm at, guys. But let me go ahead and start moving around here. No, I'll stop right there. Hey, brother, what's your name?
What's up, guys? My name is Gio.
Hey, Gio is on another black Roadglide, man. That's what we got named for the bike right now. But this is a special one, man. I haven't been here for a while, so guys, I want to give you guys a little treat, man. we usually don't get guys who like to really get into detail about their bike, but we got something different today, man. I know it looks like another black Roadglide, but it ain't. It ain't. Hey, this bike started its life off as a street glide, right?
Street glide, yeah.
And we did a conversion, and now here we are with a pretty black Roadglide, man. All the accents, and I'm gonna have Gio go over a lot of these things on his bike, and we're gonna get into detail on pretty much most of it. Gio, walk us through it, man. Gio came from another shop. Guys, we're not gonna get into details about that. We're not even gonna kind of discuss that information, but this bike was a 128 before.
Yeah.
A stockhead 128. Gio said, you know what? I'm kind of over the 128 thing. How much horsepower did it make originally, man?
Originally at the other shop in the 120s. Once I brought it here, 140s.
So big change. He changed nothing but the tune in the bike. I mean, you felt the difference, or?
Yeah, the bike was pretty much unrideable.
So a significant difference.
Big
as a street glide. The guys, I forgot to tell you, Gio's very handy. Okay, he can really, put bikes together. He did most of the things on his bike already. Brother, can you start me out and tell me, like, let's start from the front of the bike and we'll go to the back. Before we get to the big things, we'll start with the little things first, right?
All right.
Start me off with these headlights, man.
Headlights, those are, they're made by Rigid. They're called Adapt XP.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look nice. Look really nice.
Yeah.
We're gonna go down. We got suspension. We got wheels.
Yeah. Suspension was just basically Legend cartridges inside, and I just took off the cans. Wheels are the stock wheels.
So these are stock powder coated Talon wheels, which is probably, I think that's a 19 up front.
Yeah.
What size rotors?
The rotors are 13s.
13-inch Galfa rotors, I'm assuming.
Yep.
The big Brembo calipers. I mean, really nice setup. So you stuck with stock size, but we went with Messler Cruise Techs, I believe those are, right?
Messler Cruise Tech tires.
Very, very good tire to run, especially when you're building a bike to actually perform. You need something a little sticky. What's this silver thing we got going on right here? I know what it is, but I know the guys might not know.
That is an oil cooler. It's a bigger billet oil cooler. It's made by V-Twin Power Sports.
V-Twin Power Sports, big oil cooler, and we're gonna go up. We're just gonna go up and around. We see you got some LED turn signals, but let's get into here. Now, this is where I start to get impressed. Gio, can you point us in the right direction of what we're looking at here?
All right, so what we got there is a original garage top tree. And we got there, this gauge here is for soft tail, but now they make it for baggers. It's made by Koso.
Koso?
Yeah, by Koso.
I think I run a Koso gauge on my Road King, don't I?
Right, yeah, you do.
Okay.
Yeah, so they make this gauge.
Go ahead, flip that switch for us, brother. We got a lot going on. I like it. I like it. So it shows the gear, shows the mile an hour, shows the mileage.
Yeah. It'll show head temperature. It'll show max speed.
Okay.
It also does shift light function.
Nice.
It's got you can change the color of the background.
Okay, and it's a nice billet piece, guys. I want you to see that. Now, you went with that because what?
Honestly, I didn't like the, it's my personal preference. I didn't like the big gauges.
Gotcha.
So I wanted to run something a little cleaner, something that just opens up the front of the bike.
Okay. So then you run, let's see. Well, you can tell your mile an hour and everything up here if you really want to, but you got your oil gauge and you got your volts gauge, which is a nice touch. Autometer always made great looking gauges, and you decided to put them up front.
Yeah.
And it's different. It looks good, it looks different. But I want you guys to see the details on this, man. Quad lock, phone holder.
The riser is made by Viddi's. They're Italian.
Viddi's.
And they also make this piece up here.
Okay,
too.
so the T-bar setup is by Viddi's, and it's very clean looking, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Now, you guys, I'm not really a T-bar guy, but they do look good, and they serve their purpose as usual. They serve their purpose. Let's go down, and that's George making all that noise. But let's go down and talk about these floorboards and your crash guards.
Yeah. So as far as crash guards, these are made by SBC. Also the rears are SBC, and then floorboards are made by Crossthread. The brake is also made by Crossthread. SBC makes that little piece there for the cam chest.
Okay.
Bolts, it's got full ARP 12 point everywhere.
Alrighty. Let's keep going around this bike, guys. You guys see what exhaust that is, right? That is a D&D.
Yep.
Full system exhaust, also with the Messler Cruise Tech in the back. But the bike just looks very, very nice. We're gonna come around to the kickstand side of this thing. SBC cover here. Heel toe shifting again. Oh, chain drive. Yeah, we're on a chain drive with a nice oil cooler, guys. I know you always want to know, but that's a secondary oil cooler for this behemoth of a motor, right? It runs Trask in here. I mean, this bike is well put together, and it's very clean. Now, I got another question for you.
Yeah.
What size motor we got going on here?
This is a baby 143.
Baby 143.
Yeah.
That's the way to say it, man. So it's a 143. Tell me why. Why did you go 143?
So when the 128 got old, let's just say it had developed a problem that needed to be addressed. I had to tear down. The bike has got about 25,000 miles, so I figured it might be time to just do the crank. And it's one of those while you're in there moments where if you're doing the crank,
why not?
Why not just go for the big
refresh,
boy?
Rebuild, new bike, new everything.
Let's just do it once.
What you weren't nervous about, the bike not being reliable, or did that cross your mind?
Definitely.
So what made you do it? I mean,
well, I trust these guys here.
Yeah.
I've been coming here for about a year and a half now. Always done me right. Bikes never ran better. So I talked to my guy George, and he reassured me that he could build me a big motor.
He reassured you that this is going to be a daily rider.
Yeah, he could build me a daily rider, big motor. I can make some power and I can take it wherever the hell I want.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
especially in this weather.
Now, so far so good.
So far so good.
Can we talk horsepower, or you want to wait? Let's wait. Let's wait, because we're gonna have. I'm not gonna say a part 2, but we're gonna have George step in a second. And he's gonna get into detail on the motor. But were you impressed with the numbers?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big time. Oh, yeah. Not just numbers, man. It's the rideability.
It's
honestly.
the drivability
It's the
of this bike as well. Guys, let me
the
back
way
up
she goes
again.
down the road. I mean, it's a whole different ballgame.
I'm telling you guys, yeah, we'll say it again. Another black Roadglide, right? But I can guarantee you, this is not one that you're just going to be able to step over and not show some respect to, guys. There's a difference. You got performance baggers, but then you got something called a competitive bagger, man. And this is one of the competitive baggers. Makes horsepower. But we're going to actually, guys, tell you everything that's going on with this bike. In the rear, he's also got the Legend suspension, just in case you guys were wondering. But the bike is clean set up. I mean, everything is really nice and well put together. Doesn't take too much from the Harley. Look at the bike. Reliable, clean. I'm just gonna walk you guys back around it. I was super impressed when I saw it. Now, I saw this bike as a street glide, and I liked it as a street glide, but it looks even better as a road glide. Yes, guys, I am a road glide fan by far. But we're gonna go get George, put him on the camera, and see what he's got to say about this build. We're here with George, All American Cycles.
What's up, guys?
He's got a story to tell. So my man Gio comes into you. He says he wants to rebuild his bike. He wants some horsepower, and he wants reliable. He doesn't want any issues. So you got a package for that.
Yes, I do. So
what size motor? Let's start there.
It's a 143.
Yee!
We've been doing these now for going on 4 years.
Okay.
We started building these as a rider's bike, you know. We wanted something with big displacement that you can feel it all the time. It's you know, you ride one of these bikes and you're screwed.
You're hooked.
You're never gonna want to ride anything else because the power's always there. You're not grabbing a smaller cubic inch motor and squeezing the shit out of it to make power at way high RPMs that you're only gonna notice when you're racing or only in that, you know, ballpark at RPMs. So the 143 is the motor that all the way around you feel it everywhere. From bottom end, you're just lightly on the throttle. It's a smooth motor. You could be putting around the neighborhood at 2,000 RPMs and it feels nice and smooth. And it's a square motor, 4.5 inch bore, 4.5 inch crank. We've had customers that have put up to 35,000 miles on them. Various that have 15,000 miles. They don't do anything that a 128 doesn't do that can't do. You know, they're the same. Like you're not killing any reliability because you're going to a bigger bore.
Why is everybody scared of them then?
I guess because back in the day, whenever you had a chopper or something like that, and it was a big displacement motor, it was either leaking oil or busting starters or something was always wrong with it, running hot. But these M8s give you the platform to be able to build a big motor and keep it reliable. Obviously, this motor, it's not your top tier 143 grudge motor. This is a rider's bike. This is the bike you can run any gas that you find at any gas station, and you can run it cross country. It's designed for that. Now, it's a bike that it makes 177 horsepower and 170 something foot-pounds of torque. I'll show you the dynograph later. And it's also tuned in the 85 and it makes 180. But I'm not squeezing this motor. This motor's chilling. We're just tickling the motor.
Right. Now let me ask you real quick.
Yeah.
When you build a motor like that, you need certain things to keep this motor happy though. Like I would assume you need something to keep it cool. I would assume some of those type of things that a lot of guys don't go after in the beginning because they cost money. So what do you do here?
So there's only one way to build a motor like this, and it's from the ground up. And it's completely everything new, everything fresh. You don't want to take any risk when you're building such a motor. We start with a Dark Horse crankshaft. They do all of our crank works, and we've never had an issue with them. They're literally never had an issue with them.
Gotcha.
Best cranks I've ever tried. We use our own cylinders, sleeved stock cylinders, CP custom pistons, custom grind cams. On this particular build, we have the 64 throttle body ported by Rick Ward, which he's who does our heads. Best heads we've ever tried.
So there's no secrets.
There's no secrets.
There's no
just,
secrets.
I've been doing it now for going on 4 years, while all these other shops are starting to just do this.
Right.
And back then, when I used to say, "Oh yeah, we got a 143 and we're riding this to Sturgis across country," people thought we were nuts and we were crazy. And no, we've had great results with them. And like everything, you learn from all of them and learn from all of them. And every time we make something, we try to make it better from everything we took and learned from the previous motor. But this is an off-the-shelf pipe, a D&D, which makes great power and torque. 64 throttle body. Nothing radical here. Nice, smooth bike. You can do whatever you want with. We always package it with our oil coolers, just so you know like we talked before. The cooler the oil, the less it's gonna allow you, the better it's gonna take care of your motor. So we put our external oil coolers here that we've had in all our in-house builds, and that's it. You look at the motor, it looks like a bone stock motor, but when you fire it up, you know there's some sauce in it. And like I said, this is the motor that makes, 143, I should expect a 143 to make this crazy number. Yeah, we make over 200 horsepower out of 143 with different components set up for something differently.
Right.
But this guy's not out here to go race anyone. He could if he wanted to,
and
but
still have
this
something.
guy's main priority is for him to ride his bike wherever he wants, however he wants, and have a lot of power and torque.
Can you do us a favor and start it?
Yeah.
And this bike smells like it's on E85, right?
Yeah, he keeps it on E85, but he's got the 93 tune in there.
Yeah.
He can swap it at any point.
Because he's running Power Vision, so you
Yeah.
can swap between the tunes. Best thing smoking out there right now. Let's go show some numbers on that dyno, man.
Let's go. All right, so here we have the red line is 93. It makes 177, 167. At 2,500 RPM, he has 142 foot-pounds of torque. At 3,000 is already at 153. It carries that, makes more torque at 5,000. Even after 5,500, he still has 160 foot-pounds of torque. And he makes power all the way to redline, which is typically about 6,400 on these engines.
Now, if you look at this, guys, most people probably, the average Joe doesn't rev his bike past 5,000, maybe even 5,500. But you got a lot of horsepower.
Yeah, it makes power all the way, all the way out the back door.
Yeah.
Then on the 85, makes a couple more horsepower. It makes 3 more horsepower, 70 foot-pounds of torque, 170 foot-pounds of torque. I do remember the day we did tune this bike. It was extremely hot here in Florida.
Blazing heat.
It was blazing heat. The dyno was very hot. I don't have the best dyno room like I should have, but it affects us when it's hot. If we would have had better temperatures, this motor I'm sure could have seen about another 10 horsepower in both. And this is without pushing it. We've done the same combination over and over again, and we've seen in the 190s, 180s. It all depends. All bikes are different, and most of the times I'm tuning throughout the whole year with different weather and different temperatures.
Let's go back over this one more time, guys. This is something that you could come in here and get. Order the parts. Everything is usually within, you can have the parts within a couple weeks.
Yeah.
You come in, a couple day job, and get you right back out on the road, riding, getting miles. I mean, there's nothing bad about running this bike on 93. Guys are scared of E85, so guys, if you don't want an E85 tune, which I think is kind of like against the grain, but whatever, you could come in and say, all right, put my bike on 93 pump gas and let me ride it. We just showed you the numbers and we showed you kind of like what's the difference in power. But cooling wise, I think E85, oil cooler, all those things are just insurance.
This is the thing. A lot of guys don't want E85, don't really have access to it.
Right.
There's a lot of states that you can't really find E85 unless you buy it and you store it at home and you use it, you know, for hot rodding and stuff. But here in Florida, we get it everywhere. And it's only better for us to use it because we run like 30 degrees cooler at full operating temperature. So we keep our engines happier versus E85. But it's definitely designed to run at 93. It's just a bonus to run E85.
I got one last thing to say, man. YouTube sells horsepower. We're not really just always looking for horsepower, but the combinations just make the horsepower. We're looking for more of the reliability and be able to enjoy these bikes, especially something that's faster than, you know, that comes from Harley, I guess. So.
Right. And you want something you can feel, you know, you don't, there's guys, like me personally, I don't mind having a bike that makes up 200 horsepower all the way up here and down low is a little dead, because that's usually the turnout when you're trying to squeeze so much power on top. But this is a bike that you ride and it always feels strong. And definitely the torque is what makes makes it feel real strong. Right. Look how much torque and how long it carries it, and everywhere you need it is gonna give it to you. Right. So
you don't come in penny pinching for horsepower. We want air fuel ratio to be right. We want a guy to be able to enjoy the bike, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be snappy and it's gonna have the power that you know is unexpected.
These bikes are tuned conservative. These bikes are so low. I tune them so light on the timing. I am very conservative with timing. And they're tuned rich. Right. Can I squeeze a couple more horsepower out of this bike? Probably. Is the customer gonna notice it? No. I'd rather give him something solid. He doesn't have to bug me. He's gonna be happy, zero concerns. And that's what I've been doing for a very long time with these engines, and I continue to do them. And we're just now going bigger and bigger, and our whole objective is to make them streetable. We know we can build a fast race bike. Anybody out there could really pretty much do that. But now you gotta be able to know what you're doing when you're building a bike that you want it to stay together, and you can give it to a customer that
is out of state.
You don't really know what he's gonna do with it.
Yeah, you know, that's true. So you're out of state, guys. Call George. I'm gonna put his phone number up here, man. I don't care. Yes, put his number up there. All American Cycles on Instagram. You guys reach out to him. I don't have the answers to a lot of you guys' questions. Remember, I don't build motors. I just like to see them in the shop and the end result in the guys' faces when they actually get on these bikes and really realize what I've been talking about all this time, that these bikes are fast and reliable. So reach out to George, All American Cycles. I'll put his Instagram up here too. Yes. He'll get right back to you guys. Leave him alone on Sundays. Bother him Monday through Saturday though. All right, guys. Thank you for watching.
Later, guys.
Peace.